What's up, guys? This is Carter Thomas with Bluecloud Solutions TV, episode 3. Very exciting stuff. We're going to keep doing this for hopefully another week and a half or so, depending on the response. So make sure when you watch this or listen to this, wherever you're consuming this, let me know. Send an email, Carter at Bluecloud Solutions. Drop a comment on the video or page. Hit the like button. Just do some sort of feedback so that we can get a sense of what you guys like, what's valuable, all that good stuff. All right, so today, what I wanted to do is try out a few new things. Now, the last few videos, gotten some great feedback from you guys. Thanks so much. Yesterday, we did a little bit of a deep dive onto an app. I think that there's definitely a lot of value in that. I want to keep doing that, maybe once or twice a week. Today, I want to try something that's a little bit different. It's more of a rapid fire. Here's what you need to know today. Specifically, I think if you're watching these videos on YouTube or Facebook, that's fine. Realize that this is also on the podcast. So if you just want to listen to the audio, just put the video in the background and just listen to the audio or listen to it on the podcast, because often it's hard to watch a video for 10, 15 minutes. I get it, especially when it's not, super produced and entertaining. So sometimes the audio can be really valuable. So that's what I'm trying to do today. So I just want to dive in, give you guys a download on what's going on in the app business and some things to think about, what's trending and all that. And we'll go from there. I looked at the overall charts. Obviously, we're in App Annie today. I'm going to compare this with Apptopia just to get a little bit of a different sense. I realize that Apptopia is actually delayed a day. That's how they pull in all the data. So this is actually more accurate real-time feed, which I think will be probably a little bit more helpful for trending stuff. Overall top charts, pretty boring stuff, nothing new to tell you there. So I clicked over to health and fitness just because I think that that's an awesome category. I think that there's a lot of money to be made and is being made in the health and fitness category. So I figured, why not go through that? Obviously, we're on iPhone, United States health and fitness category. Just doing a quick scroll through. Nothing pops out because I've also looked at this category before. So everything looks similar. You can also tell if you've never looked at this by the ranking change number, right? If it hasn't changed much, it's been there for a while. If it has changed, if it's jumped up a lot, you'll see like Headspace went up four spots, especially when you get out of the top 25. You might see things like white noise, which is great. Elliot, if you're listening or watching, white noise, I'm telling you, good market. So you can keep seeing all this, iMuscle too, and see what's popping off and what's working and what isn't. Because there's nothing really going into the top 25, I guess this rainy mood, that might be an interesting one to check out. But it doesn't look like there's any real breaking trends today. So it's more about just analyzing the space itself, right? On the free side, looks like you have some pretty strong brands that have some pretty good horsepower. And I would go through these and just classify these, not necessarily into what type of fitness app, but into who they're marketing to, right? Like that's the key in fitness, because there's a million ways to slice those audiences. But once you know who they are, what they're listening to, what they're reading, this category, in my opinion, as long as you have the content or can create the content or partner with somebody for the content, it's where it's at. I love this category. I think this and finance are just like two of the most smoking categories to be in. So really not a whole lot of news. Health and fitness, I would definitely encourage people to check it out. I can tell you that's probably one of the hottest trending categories across every online marketing category, including apps. Next piece of news, Apple, it looks like, is going to release or maybe not Apple, I'm sorry. There will be an augmented reality headset for the iPhone 7, probably coming this year. Kicker is it's only going to be $100. So I'll put all these links on the blog post so you guys can go check them out. These are LA-based startup. It seems like LA is just where it's at for augmented reality these days. It's obviously where Snapchat's focused. But you can go check this out. This is obviously, there's a big need for this, right? Google always had the cardboard, but it was hard to use that with a phone. I mean, you could kind of get it in there, but a lot of the AR and VR has been on the Android side. So this will be interesting, especially at that price point. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a Bluecloud demo or something like that. Other piece of news coming out, you may have heard about Bixby, which is Samsung's version of Siri and Alexa and all that. It was funny. I was over the 4th of July. My buddy has a Samsung phone, and he was telling me that the design of the phones actually kind of sucks, and that Bixby doesn't really work that well. I've heard this from multiple people. You may have seen this on things like Casey Neistat video or Marquise Brown, right? Amazing tech reviewer. They both said the same thing, that Bixby doesn't really solve a need. It's more just kind of throwing more fire into the fact that voice is really becoming a big thing. So you can watch this. Samsung had an unbelievable quarter, like record earnings by a long shot. So Samsung is making pretty big moves. Obviously getting into Bixby, this just gets into the trend of voice is going to be big, right? It's obviously got a lot of applications. So starting to think about that, how it can integrate with Siri for most of your apps, but potentially with Alexa too, if you're dialing that way. I want to give this a shout out. My buddy Eric Seufert, who I've known for years now, he's over in Europe. He ran user acquisition for Wooga, for Rovio, he wrote a book called Freemium Economics that was, it's super in-depth and dense, but it's probably the Bible for learning how to do retention with apps. I used to do this stuff all the time back when I was working with Kiwi down in Palo Alto on their top grossing games. What I thought was really interesting, one, to give Eric a shout out, two, is that he built a user acquisition platform, piece of software almost, that he had a lot of beta testers. You can go through his old Twitter accounts and you could see him doing the beta launch and getting people in there, bug testing. And then he took on a few clients, and then he recently just got bought out. And I think that this is important because a lot of people in the app business, I shouldn't say a lot of people, some people in the app business, they realize that their strength may not be making apps. It is being in the app ecosystem, right? My strength is creating content. So Bluecloud is an obvious great way for me to be in the app business. And a lot of people look at the app business, they think, well, I got to make a course, or I got to make a blog, or I got to do something. There's a lot of opportunity for tools, right? If you can build a piece of software or a solution for whether it be independent developers, whether it be game studios, or whether it be B2B, if you can create a platform or a solution, there is an unbelievable demand right now for larger companies to buy up small companies, both as an acqui-hire and for user bases and for the actual tech. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. This platform, Agamemnon or whatever, I used it once. It was not flashy. It looked like it was being spit out of some like math lab thing, but it was good. It worked, and it had really good tech on it. So just, something to think about, right? If there's a problem that you can solve with a piece of software, there's a lot of companies that are interested in buying it, especially pieces of marketing software. So something with Facebook ads could be interesting. Something with video editing could be interesting. All these sort of things. Snapchat, their camera spectacles are going to be sold on Amazon now, which is obviously going to blow it up. I think they've sold like 70,000 of these, give or take. I remember reading that about a month ago. So that may be up. This is probably going to dramatically explode them. Snap's had a hard time competing with Instagram for obvious reasons. So this will be interesting to see if this can help them win, right? Or come back, or at least stabilize. Who knows? But it is an interesting trend of connecting hardware. Apple, the rumor is that they're going to release glasses over the next year or so. So I think that the AR hardware is definitely going to become a big thing. Lastly, I want to just touch on this. I don't think there's anything that jumps out at me, but I think that this is a good habit to get into just as much as the charts. Just go to Google Trends every day, guys. Just go check it out. And specifically, what is a trend that is going to last more than one news cycle, right? So like Chipotle just had some virus in their burritos again, and their stock is plummeting. So that's obviously trending right now. In 3 days, that's not going to be news. No one's going to care about that. Just going through this, I honestly, I haven't looked at this. Yeah, I would just go through this every day. You can change the Game of Thrones, obviously, it's a huge one. Change the category so you can dial in. Let's go to business. Obviously, in the U.S., Morgan Stanley earnings per share. You can see the spike going up and down. But this is just a great place to go and see what is trending. This is typically one of the places I go whenever I see something spiking in the App Store. I see if it's trending here. I see if the app is driving the trend or if the trend is driving the app. Right? That's always really helpful. So just a good habit to get into. You're not always going to see something like today. There's nothing that really jumps out at me, but it's a good habit to get into. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful. This is more of a news, breaking news type of video. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.